All right, guys, I'm here going to commentate a match between a couple of guys I really don't know, but this is Noah. I am going to watch it in lag here in just a minute. But once again, guys, we really do appreciate all the support that you guys give to all our sponsors and all us pool players and everything else. So thank you again. And Carla and Joe and everybody else involved in the 35th annual North Idaho is just a great thing for this area and for these people and for me. So again, thank you to them and thank you to everybody else. So we got Paul Marius and Chris Sundgren that are going to be playing. It's a race to 4. And I do know Chris a little bit from work, but this is my first time seeing Paul, so I'm not sure what to expect from either of them. And here we go. The lag. The lag is very important in alternating break with especially a short race to 4. Well, it looks like a pretty good lag from both of them, but it looks like Chris got that one. Yeah, watching some of these guys out here, it's been entertaining. It's been fun watching, the sportsmanship and the quality of play that's been going on has been just absolutely wonderful from all the players. I haven't seen any kind of, unsportsmanlike conduct or anything of that nature. It's been really, really, really quite incredible. So, but here we go. We got Chris starting the set off with the first break.
Joe Cleveland, Juan Barajo. Joe Cleveland, Juan Barajo, 2.
Let's just see how he breaks. Looks like a pretty standard 8-ball break. Oh, coming out dry with that spread, that could do some damage. They both look fairly open. Looks like, if you're asking me, I would probably take the solids. It looks like from one to the other, it looks like they all kind of connect to each other as long as you stay fairly in decent shape. So Paul Marius, here's my first time really getting a chance to watch him, and he did choose solids. So let's see how things work out for him. I know that pretty sure that's the 4-ball. Could be a little bit of an issue for him, but all in all, it looks like it's going to be not the toughest of racks to get through, but still could create some issues. Oh. All right, here's Chris coming up to the table. Yeah, the stripes from here. I mean, on these little tables, you really got to get rid of the problems early, and like that 14, 11, both of those could create pretty big issues for him if he doesn't address them pretty quickly. Got a little further there than he wanted. It's really nice seeing all these guys coming out here and they know each other for years and seeing how they react and everything else, seeing some of the upsets and I know you can definitely see some of the guys that I hear about that have been around the area for a long time and as to why they've been, whether they've won or been in the top for quite some time is you can see why they talk about them and why they're the legends of North Idaho, as I like to call them. But looks like Joe just got his over on table 8. We got some really good matches going on around here. So, and Chris got on that 12. It gives him a chance to address the 14 and 11 right here if he chooses, or at least one of them. Oh, that looks like you might have the crossmate going there. See what he's got here. Oh, there it is. Oh, the big devastating scratch. That's never fun when you're toward the end of a run. I'm not sure too much about Paul's game here, but I know for me, I'd probably be wanting to address that 7 pretty quick. Like if I could, being out in the middle of the table and having ball in hand gives it fairly easy to get shape on, whether it be the 7 or the 2 or the 3, 4 or the 3. That's not the 2, sorry. But that 7, if you get wrong on it, trying to use it as your key ball to the 8, it can lead you in the wrong direction and all that in a hurry. So you just got to be careful when you start leaving them in the middle of the table as your key ball. There's equipment here at Patty's. I know I play here quite a bit and it gets used quite a bit, but boy, do they really do a pretty good job of keeping up on things here and making sure they have quality, not just quality equipment, but they got quality food, quality staff. It really is enjoyable to come in and play in their tournaments and everything else. So here's Paul. Gonna go ahead and take that 7 out now and use his 3 as the key ball. Oh, and he got into that one, I think, a little more than he planned. Calling it down in the top right. And he overcut that one. We got a couple of Nash boys playing over on table 8. We got Doug and Marvin Nash getting ready to start. It looks like Marvin's going to win the lag. And there's Chris getting another ball off the table. Let's see what he's got getting to the 8. A little bit of a weird angle, but manageable. He can play it to either pocket. It does go to either one, so that does help him. Whether he chooses to come out back to the middle of the table or he just chooses to drop back and play it in your top right, would be either one would work. Oh. That's a rough way to get her. And here's Paul gonna go ahead and sew up the first rack. We got some good matches going on around here. I don't know everybody, so I don't want to start announcing people that I don't really know or anything like that, but got some good quality play. I know tomorrow will be the top 16, and I'm not 100% sure what time they start in the morning. I want to say probably about the same time, sometime between 9 and 10. But if you guys are out there, you guys should come down and check it out. Tomorrow will be the top 16, some really good players. We've had some guys that are making it that really happy for themselves. I'm really proud of them, and some guys that there's no surprise there. So, and looks like you got at least one on the break. It's a good break by Paul. Kind of a rough layout with those stripes laying the way they are, but that's a. I'm not sure which one's better with that 2-ball laying there. Breaking it out don't look like it'd be all that simple getting it out, but I think it's a comfort thing at that point. And he chose solid 7 in the upper right and off to the races. It's fun watching the way some of these guys play, some of the gals out here too as well. It's nice seeing the ladies out here playing, but it's really nice watching to see the different pattern play from one person to another to see the shot making, the position play, stuff like that. It's really, it gives you a chance to kind of see things from another side. Most of us watch pool on YouTube and stuff, and we watch, the greats, from, your greats from back in the day, Buddy Hall and Johnny Archer, Earl Strickland, to today's greats, your Shane Fedors and stuff like that. And then to watch some of the amateurs play that have been playing for years that, get out a lot, you can learn a lot from both sides. And sometimes you can see exactly what these guys are doing before they do, and sometimes you can kind of question as to why they're doing things. But looks like Paul has got himself into a little bit of a situation here. Don't look like that 6 goes by, I don't think, but hard to kind of tell from here. And it don't look like it does, so he chooses to lay it up and play safe. Let's see. Let's see if Chris tries to get out or if he's going to play himself into a safety situation to hold control of the table, choosing the 14 first. And it looks like he's going to play for the run out. He broke it out for a shot, which is a great shot. And looks like he's got full control of it from here. That combo might be a little bit tricky, but when I'm looking directly down on the table, I'm looking at it from the opposite end of the break. He looks like it goes fairly decent. But that's another one I was taught by some good players that, you want to try to get rid of your combos as early as possible because they can create some issues. They're a little bit harder to control, and if you don't hit them perfect, they can take off on you. And just like I was always taught to never play shape on a combo ball if you can avoid it, for that reason right there. Because if that 15 wasn't there, he wouldn't have been real pleased with the next shot. But it looks like, a little bit of elevation, and he's going to go ahead and pocket that and end up on it just fine. I'm not sure if he's going to try to come up and shoot the 8 in the corner, or if he's just going to lag it in and shoot it inside, or I'm not 100% sure what he's going to do here. Looks like, from my perspective, he might have a little more angle than necessary to hold it, but again, kind of hard from where we're sitting. And he is going to hold it. Perfect. Good little shot there. Showing some finesse in his game. And there it is. He ties it up 1-1. Again, looking at the room, seeing the sponsors, guys, we got some sponsors that are supporting our players in our North Idaho, I mean, we should really look into trying to support them the best we can. We got Bi-State Siding and Window, we got Pioneer Lodge, Roxy's, of course there's Patty's, there's DNG, DG and Esco, I think is how it's called. Then of course, we got Patty's and Mitchell Brothers, and James runs a good tournament on Wednesdays, and he's a big advocate of the area for a lot of our sports and stuff. So I mean, if you have any painting needs, it never hurts to at least check him out. But this bar that we're in here at Patty's, they have, like I said, I can't emphasize their food and staff, and just the conditions here are pretty decent. But looks like Chris came up dry on the break. It looks like some clutters in there. Looks like I'm not sure if Paul can really shoot any solids or not, but it looks like he's going for the stripes. Got that 10 out of there. That was a good shot. Now it looks like he still has the 9 at minimum. I'm not sure if he can cut that 11 in or if he'd even entertain it. I don't think I would. I think I would try to take the 9 and see if I couldn't either draw it back into shape on something, or maybe just some top left and spin it around into something. But that 12 ball looks like it could be a bit of an issue for him. So let's see what he's got. Oh, it looks like he might be cutting out the 11. Oh, cutting it the other way. Kind of stood up with a look of surprise on his face that he made the 12. I think all of us were a little surprised. It looked like it was going to look like a tough shot to try to call. So I don't think that's why he called it. Looks like we're narrowing down the field a little bit, though. We got some guys coming up and saying bye, and it's been a really smoothly run tournament. So really been enjoyable. We got Chris over here still firing at the table. Looks like he's going to go ahead and get that 5 out of his way right now. Looks like it can go behind that 9, so I'm not sure what he's going to play after that. Oh, he got a little too thick on that one, but it looks like he took that pocket over. So that could be a little bit of protection for him, I guess. I know most of us would just prefer to get all the way out, but it happens. And when you've been here all day, it's easy to let up on something or get a little added spin when you don't want it, and makes it a little bit harder. Oh, we got Paul's going to get off to the races. Let's see. Let's see her stripes. He's got a couple of balls here. It looks like 10, 14, 15, 9. And he is going to go ahead and, I'm pretty sure, call that 9 past the 5. I'm not sure if he's going to try to go off the rail. He did try to go off the rail. And that was a pretty strong effort on him. And I'm pretty sure you just heard him say, well, worst case scenario, just switch them around. Chris is going to go ahead and start with that 4. And we're going to go ahead and get off to the races with him. Let's see I'm curious what he's going to try to do with that 5 ball. I know he's got to get angle on, whether it be the 6 or 7 to get to the other side of it, or he can bank it in if he chooses. I think it kind of depends on where he lands, and it looks like he might not have a whole lot of option but to bank the 5, and that's it right there. Here's the shot of the rack for him. So let's see if Chris will bear down and go ahead and get this. Play to the pocket speed. Looks like he overcut her a little bit. I really enjoy watching guys that can bank well. There's been some good banks that I've watched through this tournament that have been fun to watch. I really enjoy a lot of that. And I know on Mondays, if there's any new players out there, we do have a league out here, and it's a BCA league that's really fun and enjoyable. We got some good players that don't mind giving some advice and stuff like that. And I can't tell if the 15 goes for Paul or not. It looks like it must, because he got down on him pretty quick, and it did. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good rack for him. Oh, I spoke too soon. The commentator's curse. That wasn't very friendly of me. Needs to get to this side, top side of the 6 to get to the bottom side of that 7, so he can just shoot it up in the corner, because the 8 does go by the 14. So that's all he really needs is one good positional shot right here. And a little treetop there. That's not going to be fun. And he blocked his table his pocket from him. Oh, there's a big match coming up on table 4. We got Joe Horner and Cal Davis. Going to be starting that one here in just a minute. Got a couple of former winners. Oh, that treetop is always hard to be accurate with that. Only seeing part of the ball and kind of jacked up and all that. I wish I knew more of the players. I could give you guys updates on the scores, but I don't want to give updates on tables that I don't know the players. It looks like Paul is going to finish up on this with that 8 ball. Yeah, pretty good on it. Although no matter how good you get on something, you still got to bear down and treat it with the same respect as any other shot, because, boy, I've missed some shots in my career that just because it's taken it, it's for granted straight in. I'm not sure if it's Marvin or Doug, but one of them have already got a game, and I know Marvin is Doug's uncle. That's all I really know about him. And I played with Doug for a little while, and he's a good guy. Him and his wife, son, all of them, good people. All right, we got Paul breaking here.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Let's see if we can get them spread out better than we've seen so far. We've had some clusters the last couple of breaks. On that break turned out a lot better than some of the others that we've seen, and it looks like he's off on the races with the solids. Looks like that 7 ball does go beyond in the bottom right, I guess that would be. And looks like it's a pretty manageable table. Let's see. I think I would have saved the 7 for last if it goes pretty easy, just because of where the 8 ball is. It goes in that side and it's on the bottom side of the table. And they are all right out in the open. All right, let's see what Chris can do here. Looks like he stunned that one in pretty some authority. Good little stroke on that one. This here 13 ball, I'm pretty sure it goes by the 5, but not 100% sure. And if it does, then it's not the worst thing to do to leave that 9 as a key ball. Then at that point, you just got to make sure you land on the right side. You always got to try to make sure you're landing on the right side of the ball. Try to make it as easy as possible. When you watch great players, you see them always on the right side of the ball. You never see them end up on the wrong side. The wrong side will eat you alive. And even if you do end up on the wrong side, you don't have to get back into shape right away. But it looks like Chris has got on that 9 pretty well. And now he's got the 11. So let's see what he does from the 11 to the 14. He's going to draw into it and get a friendly little roll so he can shoot it in the top right. And he looks like relatively straight on the 8. Looks like he's going to get out on this one. Hopefully no commentators curse on this one. And we got her evened up 2-2. It's turning into a nail biter over here, 2-2. Who's that? That's Paul Chappie.
Ken Wolsey.
Want to make sure. That big 6x6 so I don't necessarily try to know it.
Just get a little closer.
Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to be so far away from the mic. I was apparently sitting too far back. Let me know if you can hear me any better. We got Chris breaking rack number 5. He's are we gonna get 2 breaks in a row that are pretty strong breaks? Looks like it's dry. Looks like our YouTube is a little bit slower than the actual game, so I apologize if I'm ahead of you guys.
I'll feed you.
It's a pretty wide open rack. That 4 ball looks like it might be a little bit of trouble, maybe even the 11. But the solids definitely wouldn't be my choice. I would definitely be looking at the stripes and how can I get to the 11 because that looks like the real problem. And then I think that's a 15 that's up here in your top left. But I'd be looking at stunning that 12 ball back up and using some just nice little stun shot and I would try to get to that 15 pretty early just because it's a lone ball up there and they can be pretty dangerous on you. And it looks like he got that 11 to go to the top right and see if he can get on it. Nope. He nudged it instead, so it must not have went. Yeah, I know who Chris is because I work with him, but I've never seen him play, and this is my first time seeing Paul, so it's hard for me to be able to really talk about their game and what they're capable of and what they do.
Yeah.
But these guys both look like they have a pretty solid foundation. Watching them, they're both pretty strong and good players. And
I'm trying to get this way. Get rid of the balance tape. It's like, they're not gonna let public, I'm sure, come in and play.
all right, we got the solids for Chris. I'm kind of wondering what he's going to do with that 4 ball. Oof, just made it worse. Rolling that 15 right up against it, but at least he's got that 5 there to break out with. So we're focusing on the positives. That's a good positive to have. Left him pretty tough on the 14, and I don't think anything else would really go from there without shooting a pretty hard combo. A little wide on that 14. Chris is weighing out his options on how he wants to go ahead and get this thing started. He's got that 6 clear down on the foot, and that ball can get dangerous in a hurry again. You know, I mean, you got to kind of look at your problems and figure out how to address them, you know, as soon as you can, because the last thing you want to do is leave one ball on the table and not be able to see it or not be able to make it or whatever it is, because that'll eat you up an 8 ball, especially bar box 8 ball. That's a lot more of a struggle when you start getting out of shape and your trickling effect. And looks like you can get to the 4 right here. Oh, a little wide. So like right here, in my opinion, he's got to take that 6, you know, and then just play it up, you know, with a little bit of bottom right and come back out to about where he's at now. And even if that means you got to draw it a little bit extra and go 2 rails, but a little bit of trouble here. He's got the 2, and it don't look like he has the right angle to get to that 4 ball. I don't know if he can even manufacture an angle to get to it, but well, a little bit of pool god love on that one. He got it in there. Don't look like he's being left much there. Gonna kick at it. Yeah, I don't even see a bank on it, but oh, great kick. Great kick. Let's see what kind of shape he's gonna end up with. And he's gonna bump it. I know that will cross bank into the top middle. Really tough bank, really tough. You got to really get into it, especially if you're trying to play shape on the 8. This is where it's important, you know, when you guys are starting to play, you know, you gotta play those, you gotta practice them, you gotta, because we all ended up in these positions, even the greats end up in these positions, and they just learn how to fight out of them. And just barely missed it, but left a good cue ball clear up on the what Nick Barner likes to call the gold rail.
My boss should be watching the screen right now. Standpoint. Okay. He played the Rockets. Sure. Yeah.
All right, Paul, let's get this started, buddy. Are we I'm not on the table, so it makes it a little bit harder to see the exact angles that he's at, but That 10, I'm pretty sure cuts into the side and looks like it leads to a couple other shots. That 14 would too, but you got to kind of slow roll it to leave yourself. Over cuts the 9.
Not very safe. That's not the deal.
I didn't watch.
It's required for a pretty good shot here to get on the 8. So, oh, and he's gonna overspin it or underspin it. I'm not sure if he was trying to get under it. These guys are playing a pretty friendly game over here, kind of talking and smiling and having a good time with each other. We got Jackie Clark playing Ken Woosley over there. I'm not sure what the score is, but looks like it's been a pretty good match to watch. And I'm not sure who won the first rack against Cal and Joe, but Joe just broke, and it looks like he broke dry or broke and scratched. One or the other, I can't tell. Look, oh, he broke and scratched. All right, back to this one. Paul shoots at the side, gets himself started. And it looks like he's gonna take a look at the table, make sure that he's doing the right thing by checking his lines and checking his angles and getting where he wants. And I take the 11 in the side, it looks like, and oh, nope, up in the corner. Might be a little light on that one. Yep, just a little light and a little, maybe a little long too, but definitely light. Giving Chris some hope here on a fairly tough cut shot.
I can teach you how to miss better than that.
Well, I'm pretty fluent.
There's Madeline talking to Paul. She's waiting on these two, and she's going to go ahead and take on the winner. I do believe they're all from the same area. Yeah. Nice little leave, friendly leave on the cue ball. Pretty nice little safety there if he chooses. That looks like it'd come pretty standard with ball in hand because he could tie that thing right up to the rail, right up to that 14. Just a nice little nudge and allow the cue ball to come up to that rail. You can win a lot of games with defense. I know there's a lot of people out there that, oh man, I hate defense, but just like in any sport, defense can win you a lot of games. We also know how to play it.
Change your tabling, so see it from a different angle.
I'm not sure what he's going to do. It looks like he's looking to jack up a little bit and try to spike that 14 in, but no, he just called save. All right, I wonder what he has in mind right here. He's going to try to get it behind the 14 or...
Can't God.
That looks like he's going to try to double up the 15 on it, and it don't look like he quite did. I know he can at least hit the left side as he'd be looking at it. Our side, the bottom side.
Yeah, Ken's got the.
And he's going to call the bank, which would be the top right for you guys. Top right for you. And I've never been a big fan of those banks. I, for some reason, do that a lot to them. The dreaded double kiss on it, hitting it too full. And it's crazy because I enjoy playing banks and the whole 9 yards, but still seem to double kiss that one quite often. All right, Paul, we got 3 more for you, buddy. I didn't see who won, whether it would be Jackie or Ken, but their game is over. A little shot in the side, leave himself a little long, but nice little shot on the 8 ball here. Just a little bit of attention required, and this is one that you don't want to let up on. You start letting up, that's what happens right there. You still got to stroke them, still got to hit them. I know I'm probably the king of missing the 8 ball, and when I go back and watch myself, I can definitely see that I like to lay up on it.
Well, it's
A little bit of a cut here for Chris, and he gets her though. With a 3-2 lead on Paul. It's turning into a match. If Paul gets the next one, we go hill, and then we're all biting nails.
on. No? Zero evens on odds? Correct. Four on. It wasn't that. It wasn't just. Yeah.
They're trying to figure out whose break it is, and Chris won the lag, so it would definitely be Paul's break.
Table 5, Terry Thurlow, Brian Schaefer. Terry Thurlow, Brian Schaefer for 5.
All right, Paul, buddy, let's get one. Let's get a nice little break here and put this bad boy hill. Oh, off the table. Hit it pretty good. Just something we've all done, unfortunately. Sometimes it's just our adrenaline doing it. Sometimes it's just a miss hit. Sometimes, maybe I know I like to grab the bottom of my cue once in a while too much, and I'll do that. I'll throw it right off of the table. It's kind of a little bit of a mess, but it's a doable table. I mean, I kind of like the solids. I like where he's starting on that 4. That 2 does go by the 8, in case somebody was wondering. I'm not sure what pattern he's going to choose here, but I definitely would, when I shoot that 2, I would try to bump that 8, or that, not the 8, the 9, just a little bit to try to open her up a little bit more, because you don't want to have to try to play into tiny little windows if you don't have to. And I'm not sure if he can see the 3 or not, but it looks like he might be coming up table for either the 6 or the 1. And it looks like he's going to take a look at that 6 anyways, and probably choose to shoot something different because, I'm over here trying to call it. Oh, I was right this time. He jumped at that one. I don't know if anybody's seen, but he was pulling his cue before he even got all the way through, and that's like rule number 1 not to do. Let's see what Paul can do here. Let's see if he can get out and make this a hill match. Looks like Marvin got the 3rd game. It looks like it's 2-1 Marvin over Doug. Looks like Derek Weaver and Rob Bertalston. I'm not even 100% sure if I'm saying his name right. Looks like one of them is up 1-0 over on table 7. I know both of them guys fairly well. They play in the same leagues and tournaments that I do. These stripes are kind of laying weird. I can't tell if that 15 goes by the 3 or if the 9, I'm pretty sure it does not, but it did go by. I wasn't sure. It didn't. From my angle, it's hard to see some of these, whether they go by or not. So I apologize if I'm not seeing them correctly. He's kind of on the 50-yard line with all of them, but if he shoots that 9, he can get on the 11 right now. Oh. We got the match that I'm waiting on going up on table 3. It'll be Andrew Slaughter and Ken Woosley. All right, Chris has a chance to sew it up right here. Looks like a 4 ball out that's definitely manageable. Let's see what he's got going here. You gotta shoot that 5. I don't know if that 6 has enough pocket by the 9. Trying a little brush off of the 11. think that's 6 up in the, it'll be the bottom left. Playing shape on that 8 will be kind of weird, but it's fairly close to the pocket. So you just got to make sure you end up somewhere out there where you can see it fairly well, which he did. He got really good shape, not quite straight, but dang near. Good match by the two gentlemen there. We appreciate everything they did. Thank you guys.
I'm gonna do a next match scene, and then if you're off,